And I hope everyone is ready.
And I hope everyone.
Okay. Just kindly tell me if you guys can now see my screen, guys. I want to start sharing my screen, so just tell me if you can see it. Here, guys, I'd prefer that we have a conversation, right? As you guys can see, it's really late in the evening. I don't want to really teach. I want this to be more informational as possible, right? And I want you guys to treat it more as conversation than you guys being taught, because I want us to just slowly, get used to the content, right, guys? Is that fine with you guys? I just want to refresh your minds with what you guys are just gonna be covering uh in chapter 1 and chapter 2, right, guys? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so if you guys I'd appreciate it if it's to be more conversational than anything, né? And I even went as far as creating slides with examples and whatnot, and these slides are referenced or they are from your lecture slides, right? So yeah, they are gonna be very much helpful, right? So here we are, ne, guys? FRAM B Unit 1, ne? Financial Management in Context, right? Part 1, brought to you by Dripanomics Tutorials, right? So if there's anyone with a question or something, just raise your hand or just tap in the chat box, and then I'll be going to recognize you, because now I want to present my whole screen, right? So just tell me, guys, can you guys see my whole screen in like this? Just say yes, anyone, because I can't see my Google screen.
Yes.
Okay, right? Oh, but I see that there are some people who'd like to join. Ish. You see, those that are gonna they're gonna disturb my presentation now, those that want to join. Okay, so uh there's Casey, so let me just add Casey, right? Okay. Alright, guys. Again, let me just restart, right? From B, Unit 1, Financial Management in Context, Part 1, right, guys? Brought to you by Dripanomics Tutorials. So, the learning outcomes. Yo, these people, you see, people. I wanted to present my screen thingy, but let me just do it like this. It's fine. Right? Let me just do it like this, right? Yeah. Learning outcomes, right? At the end of this learning unit, right, the student must be able to demonstrate knowledge, understanding, and application of the following: the focus of financial management, right, as a discipline, the need for and importance of financial management in the business activities, important key concepts, principles, and branches of the study, and lastly, the relevance of financial management for careers in the economic and financial sciences, right? So, guys, what is financial management, right? Essentially, this is an applied discipline, right, which is approached from the perspective of the financial manager of the business, right? So we're always gonna see things from the financial or from the perspective of the financial manager of a business, right? So that is what we're gonna be managing, right? The finances of an enterprise, right? The issues which are the focus of financial management function relate to the source and application of these funds, right? So when talking financial management, right, from the perspective of the financial manager of the enterprise, we are talking about the source, right, and application of funds. So the source is where the money comes from, right? How the entity makes its money, right? Is it through investing? Is it through banking? Is it through whatever? And the application is also the important aspect. How do we use the money that which we have? How do we manage it, right? Because that is exactly what we're doing, financial management, right, guys? Okay. The fundamental objective of a financial manager, right? The primary goal objective, right, of financial management typically focuses on maximizing wealth of shareholders, right? So, if financial management is all about maximizing the wealth of shareholders, what is the role of a financial manager? To maximize the wealth of shareholders, right? Or to increase the value of the business, and if it is a public company, to obtain the highest possible share price, right? Are you guys familiar with share prices and so forth, guys? Are you guys familiar with share prices? Do you guys know what JSE is? Johannesburg Stock Exchange. All right. Is there anyone here who would like to just open the floor, maybe for someone who doesn't know what JSE is? Hey guys, JSE. Anyone? Talk to me, Samgelo. Talk to me.
I'm not sure, but let me try.
Mm-hmm.
According to my knowledge, JSC is where like public companies, shares of public companies are traded. Let's say, for example, wha- which public company do I know?
That's a
Oh,
good question.
Shoprite, right?
ShopRite.
Shoprite.
Mm-hmm.
That is where you can buy like Shoprite shares.
Okay, thank you so much, right? And then, based on what you just told us, right, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is basically a place, right, or a market where we are able to buy and sell or trade shares, right, publicly, that are publicly traded, right, or of entities that are publicly traded, right? And then, what does it say in relation to financial management, right? the the aim, right, or the objective of a financial manager is to increase a shareholder's wealth, right? And also, if the company is a public one, it is to obtain the highest possible share price, because the higher the share price, the more money you get once you able to share to sell your shares as a shareholder on the JSE, right, guys? Okay. There's someone here who wants to enter, I think, right? So, right, guys, all businesses, right, exist in local and global communities to sell goods and services to customers for a scarce commodity called money, right? You guys know this, right? Those that pay for Dripanomics tutorials can assume that Dripanomics is a business, right, which exists in a local community, and we sell our service to you guys, who you guys are our beloved customers, for a scarce commodity, which is money, right? But before doing that, guys, right, as Dripanomics, capital investment is first needed by that business for infrastructure and resources for the business to be able to operate, right? So we need resources, right, as a tutoring firm, to maybe buy equipment such as, I don't know, code keys, notepads, and stationery, to make sure that we have the capable resources to teach you guys, right? So before even us selling you guys a service, right, we needed capital investment to make sure that we have infrastructure and resources available to operate, right? To enable that capital to be raised, right? Investors must be persuaded to invest in the business operation, as opposed to all the other alternatives that are available to them. This decision is made by predicting the expected future value, right, which will be looked in later, right, of this unit, right, which will be created by the company, right, taking into account the possibility of their predictions may be wrong, right, and comparing the predicted outcome with the predicted outcomes of other alternatives, and then making a choice, right? So, what are they saying? When investing, guys, in a company, right, there is risk, right? And when investing, you have to first look at alternative decisions and then pick an investment based on your most favoritive or most lucrative business, right? You just don't invest in things just for the sake of investing. You first need to look at what are the competing alternatives, right? So, for example, it's like window shopping for ladies who go shopping, right? You just don't go to the store and you just pick that dress or that shoe or that bag, right? You first need to look around and be like, okay, I like this, but I like this about this bag, I like this about that shoe, I like this about what that, I like that about that. And then after taking all of that into consideration, right? you then make a decision to know which bag you're gonna buy, right? Or which shoe you're gonna buy, or which, I don't know, whatever you're gonna do, right? It's all a decision you make after taking into account all the necessary factors, right? Once the investor has placed funds into a business operation in the expectation that an adequate return will be generated, the onus, right, is placed on the management of that business to ensure that the expected returns materialize. Should the business not perform according to the expectation, the investor has the option to withdraw the funds and seek alternative investment opportunity, right? So, if you guys want to buy shares, right, in a specific company, or you want to invest in a specific company, you are investing in that company with the hope that the management of that company is capable of doing good and uh, giving you a return on your investment, right, guys? Is everyone following? Just give me a thumbs up if you follow, right? Exactly. So when you invest in a company, uh, it's on the assumption that the management of that company is good, and then it's gonna generate you uh expected returns, right? And if those returns don't come, then you're gonna withdraw your funds, uh, or and then look for alternative investing, right? But of course, in real life, it's really not that easy just to withdraw your funds, right? Because in real life, if your money doesn't make a return, what you're gonna take out is most probably less than what you put in the first place, meaning that you're gonna have to leave with a loss, right? Which no one wants. Hence why it's very important, right, to always be considerate when making financial decisions. And hence why the art or the study or the discipline of financial management is important, because the room for error, right, is so marginal, right, and can make a whole lot difference, especially when you're playing with big figures, right? Okay. What information do financial managers need, right? As financial managers plan, organize, direct, and control activities to achieve goals, both financial and non financial information is required, right? Setting or reviewing both qualitative and quantitative objectives, right? So, analyzing information when reviewing the organization and its environment, and identifying strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? Also, making strategic decisions concerning the direction of the organization and resultant business plans to achieve that direction, right? So, before investing, guys, in a company, right? Here they make it known that you need to know that business SWOT analysis, right? I assume you guys did business studies in high school? No? Guys, did you guys do business studies in high school? So you guys are all familiar with SWOT analysis, right? So the strengths, the weakness, the threats, and the opportunities of an entity, right? Okay. So what are they saying here? They're saying that you have to take that into consideration, and also the business plan of that entity and how it aims to achieve all that it aims to achieve before making a decision whether to invest in it or not, right? Because you need to know the strengths, right? So you need to know why you're investing in something, right? You need to know why you're investing in a specific company. And with you knowing its strength, you also need to know its weaknesses, so that you know that if your money goes down the drain, it is going to be because of this reason, right? Because with financial management, there's an element called risk, nah, guys? There's risk. Not everything is guaranteed, right? So with there being risk, there's a possibility or a potential or a chance that you may lose your money, right? There is that possibility. So you need to be very wary of the risks when investing or when putting your money, right? Okay. Then we move on, right? So far so good. If there's anyone with a question, you'll just let me know, right? So after all of this, right? What does a financial manager need to do, right? After analyzing all of those information, guys, you need to make a decision, because guess what? That is what financial management is all about. Making decisions to invest, right? So you can read books about financial management, right? You can do so many things about financial management. You can watch YouTube, but at the end of the day, if you are not applying that knowledge, right, by making a decision and actually uh, invest in something for you to be able to manage, then you're wasting your time, right? So at the end of the day, after taking into account information, a financial manager needs to make a decision. And this decision is going to be based on estimates, past performance, and trends, right? And then here I've even made an example, right, guys? So you have to first take into account estimates, right? So imagine you ran a lemonade stand, right? You know exactly that on a hot day, right, you usually sell about 30 cups of lemonade, right? Lemonade in the United States of America is equivalent to our Coca Cola. So let's just say Coke, right? So when planning for tomorrow, you estimate that you might sell around the same number of cups if the weather is hot again, right? You're estimating. So this estimate helps you decide how many lemons, right, and how many sugar you need to buy. It's like making a smart guess based on what you think will happen. So that is an estimate, right, guys? Is everyone okay with an estimate? Did that example help you? Or does someone need a better explanation than that? Is everyone fine with an estimate? So this is what you're estimated to get, right? Okay, that's good, right? And then we have past performance, which is also another important factor, right? So let's say your lemonade stand has been open for 4 weeks, right? You keep track of how many cups uh, you sell each day and how much money you make, right? If you look back and see that you constantly sold around 30 cups on every hot day last week, that is your past performance, right? It shows how well your business has done in the past, and you can use this information to make decisions in the future, right? And then we have what we call a trend, right? Which is example given. Now imagine that you notice that on every Friday you sell more lemonade, right? Because there's a soccer game at the park nearby, right? For those that watch rugby, that whole rugby thing, right? Let's assume that on when there's a rugby game, right? Instead of studying, you selling lemonade, right? Over a few weeks, right? You will see that your sales increase on Fridays, right? This is a trend. It is a pattern that shows that your lemonade sales go up on certain days, which is the rugby day, right? When rugby is taking place. Understanding this trend will help you prepare more lemonade and maybe even advertise more on Fridays to attract even more customers, right? So, when making a financial decision, you need to take into account the estimates, the past performance, and the trends, right? So, for this purpose of the lemonade stand, right, the lemonade business, right, it helps you, your estimates help you guess how many lemons and sugars you need to buy, right? And then your past performance shows you how well your business has done in the past before. And then the trends also reveal patterns like higher sales on game days, which will help you make smarter decisions, right? Is everyone okay with what we've covered so far? So far, so good, yeah? Are you guys getting the examples I'm making? You can unmute yourselves, guys. This is not me teaching you. I just want to have a conversation. It's not that serious, yeah? Why are you guys acting like strangers? Ellen, don't do me so. How are you guys scared now? Casey, are you just with your parents now? Now you guys don't talk anymore.
Remo, we can hear you.
How are
We're
you?
listening.
How are you? Don't do me so.
I'm good and you.
I'm good. I hear it's fun there in the background.
Hey guys.
But are you following what I'm
No,
saying
it's
though?
not. Bye.
Ha, lol. But
Yes, I understand.
you're understanding. You're following, né? You're not lost.
Yes.
Okay, that's good, right? So let us continue, né? Hi Remo, I see that you're also laughing. Is it also a party that side? What's going on? Yeah.
No, it's not. We are about to sleep,
You're
but
about to
okay.
sleep, Mara. You're here doing FRAM B. Why? Huh?
Multitasking.
Hey, we don't sleep here, né? So guys, now I'd like us to turn to expected return and perceived risk, right? So here I explain what both are, and then I also give an example, right? You see, we even have slides, guys. I'm so proud of myself, guys. Guys, can you guys give me a round of applause? Like, I prepared slides for Nina. Like, guys, it's a big deal, this one, eh? Like, yo, Shaizanga, my feet. Yo, aye, Shaizanga. It's too much. It's too much, ne? So, right, guys, we have expected return and perceived risk, right? So, what is expected return, right? Expected return is like predicting how much money you think you will make from an investment, right? And then we have an example. Imagine you have a small business selling handmade bracelets. You invest 100 Rand in the materials to make that bracelet, right? Based on your past sales, you predict that you will sell all the bracelets for 200 Rands in total. This 200 is your expected return. It is what you hope to earn based on your investment and sales prediction, right? And then we have perceived risk, right? And perceived risk is how risky or uncertain you think an investment or business decision might be. Why is it based on a person's thinking? Why is perceived risk based on a person's thinking? This is a question I have for you guys, but it's in the word, but I'm sure you guys will get it. Why is perceived risk based on what a person's thinking? I'm opening the floor to you guys, guys. This is English now, eh? How? The whole crowd feel level. How? Remo, Samke, Casey, Ellen. How?
Please repeat the question.
I'm saying, right? Let me just repeat my question, right? Let me just come back here. I'm saying, why do you think that perceived risk, right, is based on a person's thinking? Guys, the answer is so simple. It's there, guys. It's not even a trick question. Is there a hand? Judah, talk to me.
Sure. Am I clear?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, all right. I think perceived risk is based on human thinking because it's uncertain that that risk might happen.
Exactly, right? But I see that you wanted to continue. Okay, but yes, right? So, guys, perceived risk, right, is based on what you think because it's based on perception, right? So, perception is based on how one person sees things, right? Hence, why there's a difference between perceived risk and risk in itself. Right, guys? Does everyone understand? So perceived risk is based on what you see the situation from your experience because it's from your perception. All right, guys? Because the thing might happen or it might not happen. However, the greater the risk, the more reward, right? Are you guys following? Okay, right? You guys are following, né? Then we move on, right? We move on. Then we have to put into account both perceived risk and our expected return, right? Because those are important factors that which are gonna help us with financial management, right? So we need to put them together. We always need to look at our expected return and our perceived risk, right? So now, again, I gave examples, right? Imagine you're deciding you're deciding whether to invest in more bracelet materials or to start selling necklaces, right? You have alternatives, right? So a decision needs to be made. What is the expected return of the bracelet? You expect to double your money, right? Just like before. So the expected return is high because you have good experience and sales history, because you've been selling bracelets, right? And then what is the perceived risk for the bracelet? The risk feels low because you know your bracelet sells well. And how do you know that your bracelet sells well, guys? They sell well based on past performance, right? Which we just learned about just now. You see how things are coming into play, guys? Are you guys following? So you see how your risk is perceived to be low because you have a history of selling based on your past performance. So your expected return is then high, right? Okay, then let's come back here. However, the expected return for necklaces, you hope you might double also your money, right? But you're not sure because it's a new product. And the perceived risk for the necklaces is that it feels a bit too high because you're uncertain if customers will like the necklace. So you need to weigh the expected return against the perceived risk to make your business decision. If you think the high expected return is worth the risk, you might try selling necklaces. If not, you might stick to bracelets where you feel more comfortable. Alright, guys, is everyone following? So far, so good. Are you enjoying the lesson? Is it making sense, or FRAM B is gonna be boring? You guys think this semester? What's going on? You guys are okay, ne? And I also hope you also, if you can, taking down notes, ne, of what I'm saying. The examples are also important because they're gonna just simplify things for you. All right. Okay. Then let's come back here. Let's move on to this page, right? Then financial management as a process, right? So what is it, right? We said that it's all about, the objective is about maximizing shareholders' wealth, right? Increasing the value of the company, and also, if possible, increasing the share price to the highest price possible. But it being as a process is about planning income and expenditure and making decisions. You see, again, guys, you have to be making decisions as a financial manager. It's about making decisions that which will enable you to survive financially, right? The broad field of financial management includes financial planning and budgeting, financial accounting, financial analysis, financial decision making, and lastly, action, right? You can you can't do all of this, guys. You can't do financial planning and budgeting, accounting, financial analysis, and decision making without there being an action. When you decide on making something, you have to then take the action of whatever it is that you decide. All right? Okay? Then there are three key elements to the process of financial management that can be identified, right? And it's financial planning, financial control, and decision making, right? Which we're going to be discussing now, respectively, right? And then here I just added a picture here. Which do you think which is which here? What part of what we just discussed here, you see here, guys, is this picture? What picture is this, do you guys think? You're more than welcome to unmute yourselves or just chat in the chat box. What picture do you think is this based on this page? Is it financial planning, control, or decision making?
Control.
It's control, right? And who said that, and why do you think it's control, actually?
Because it's Usivile.
Oh, hi, Sivile, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yes, ma'am, you were saying?
Because the person is tied up into what usually is for a puppet, and it's used to control the puppet. So it's it's mixed together.
It's mixed together. Together, super together, say together. Right? You're right.
Yes.
Right? You're absolutely correct. Right? So the picture I wanted to illustrate here is a person being controlled. So the person's movement is based on the person who's holding whatever this thing is. English is also running away from me. And if it runs away from me, you know that that's a serious problem and people need to go sleep, right? It's a joke, right? But this person is being controlled, right? And then below here is decision making, right? So this person has made the decision that they are going straight, irrespective of what's happening. And then this one is a giveaway, it's financial planning, right? So we're gonna now have to discuss each in their own right. All right. So let's start with financial planning, right? Why is financial planning important, right? Financial planning is like making sure you have enough money saved up for everything you want and need to do. In a business, this means having money or having enough money to keep things running smoothly and to grow, right? And then we have what we call short-term financial planning, right? So, example, imagine you have a small business selling t-shirts, right? Funama coins, I'm a keep type, right? We selling girl ex boy, ne? Girl ex boy, right, guys? That's how it's pronounced. We are from Pretoria, we would know. There's no such thing as Galaxy boy. There's no such, no. It's Galax boy, ne? Please don't butcher the name out in public. Those that are from PTA would tell you it's Galax boy. We hear people in Joburg calling Galaxy boy. Ah, who's saying ah?
No, I think
There's
everybody
a
knows
thing.
that. So don't put
People
Joburg
call it
people in
Galaxy boy.
this.
There's no Galaxy boy.
No,
There's
but
a
like,
thing
why are
with
you
Galaxy
generalizing?
Boy.
Why are you saying PTA as a whole and then like
Isn't
Joburg
People in
it
people?
PTA
Galaxy
know though.
Boy?
What do you mean? It's
It's
everybody.
Galaxy
Remo,
Boy.
which Pitori are you talking about?
Pitori ya nnete ya ko Hatfield. Kandelena le bolela ka dipitori tsefe.
Ke Galaxy Boy wena.
Are
I see
Isn't
Galaxy
it
Galaxy
boy.
Galaxy
Boy.
Boy?
Wow,
Galaxy
wena
X
ha ona
boy.
Galaxy. Eish, Gal X boy.
La wa bona batho ba house it's about jigets, you know.
Yo.
Wa papa.
Le
Wa
tlo
papa Remo.
banna. Nna ke tswa Pitori, guys.
Mm.
I was you guys don't tell me nothing about Pitori. Where I can what? Galaxy
Yeah,
boy.
utswa
No, there are
Pitori ya ko
people.
Makweng. Sing mo
There are
Pitori ya
people
Maneng.
here
Joe.
who are
Danke,
from
danke.
Pretoria who are telling you
Big
that they don't call
emphasis
it
on the
that
Pretoria.
and you're
Wait,
about
Makueng
to
wait.
part.
You know what?
insult.
I feel as if I'm being attacked for nothing. Who's from Pretoria here? Let those that come from
I
Pretoria
am.
raise their hand. Who? It's Remo. Remo, are you from Pretoria? Utswa Pitori.
Yes, I
Sharp.
go.
Wena we pronounce agang. Irukuk.
Iggy.
Galaxy boy. Irukuk.
Galaxy boy.
I say Galaxy. Wanna guy why? Hey.
I don't care how ew.
How to Pitori wena? Hey, there's
No, guys,
different.
honestly
Oh,
speaking, it is Gal X boy.
thank you. Hey.
But I'm not from Pretoria. I'm from Joburg. And you're insulting
Okay.
us.
Remo knows for a fact that
I say
in
Galaxy.
Pretoria everything has its own slang and its own
Marona
language. Yeah,
Galaxy.
area Galaxy X boy kya ko Johannesburg. Ko PTA ya ona
I say
girl X boy.
You're confusing people. It's
That's
You
why
Galaxy.
see,
ke re
Remu, you
utswa
see,
Pitori ya ko Makweng. E seng ya mo kasi.
Joe,
Dangi.
Lego Sosha, by Yiti, Dadenge Galaxy boy. I see Galaxy. Cause,
Ke Galaxy boy.
guys, like I wish there was an option to move people in this meeting. Just based on that, I'm already turned off for the whole year. Yo,
what? Don't worry. The aim is not to turn you on. It's fine. Continue to chill.
Galaxy boy.
That's a bar.
Sorry, don't chest it.
Hey, Marafede, guys. So let's continue. Ne? Let's assume that we have a business of selling shirts, right? Like Galaxy boy, not Galaxy. Ne? Oh, Mara, it makes I. Also, Tina, we wear Galaxy boy. Bona, they wear Galaxy boy. Oh, it makes sense, Rem. It makes sense. We don't wear the same because I think your one has the Y. But my one doesn't have the Y. Your one, Rem. So we don't wear the same one. Yes.
If you're from Hatfield, that means if it's a site, it's a bumarasta tinyan. And uko na liway.
I fine, guys. Let's go back. Ne? So imagine we have a small business selling T-shirts. Ne? What do we what are we gonna need the money for, or what might we need the money for, right? We're gonna need money for equipment, right? Which is buying machines to print the designs of the T-shirts, right? We're gonna also need stock, right? Which is purchasing blank T-shirts, right? To print the shirts on or manufacture the shirts ourselves, which for most small businesses is not really viable, right? And then employees, you need to pay the people who help run your business, right? And then Your credit sales. Sometimes customers buy now and pay later. So you need money to cover this until they pay, right? Because we do this in accounting. It's called what? Accrual basis of accounting, right? Do you guys do accrual basis of accounting? You did, ne, for FRAM also. Accrual basis of accounting. Can someone just tell me what accrual basis of accounting is? They forgot. They forgot. They got their distinction. They forgot. So what's accrual basis of accounting, guys? Because I'm seeing thumbs up. No one's unmuting themselves. Had it been Galaxy,
Isn't it the one? So, isn't it? Listen,
Shahafu.
isn't it the one that says Uguti, you should record or whatever?
Whatever.
The
Oh,
what?
bang.
Listen. As long as you understand, man.
And you still
That
think
you
you're
record the
member when
transaction
I
at the
show you
time that
now.
it incurs, but not listen, Remo.
Okay, let me listen. Repeat.
No, Kiri. Isn't it the one that says you record the transaction at the time that it incurs, in necessity, like not necessarily when payment is made?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Nulutan. You crammed, but at least you got there at the end, right? We make transactions when they happen, not necessarily when payment is made, right? So, guys, if you sell a good, if you sell a product, right, on credit, all right, there was cost that were occurred, right, or incurred rather, to make sure that that process of sales goes through, right? And if it was made on credit, right, we need enough money to make sure that we are still able to function without the customer having paid us, right? And that's why we gonna uh call it a short-term financial plan also, right? To buy such things, right? And then we move on to our medium and long-term financial planning, right? So an example, as your t-shirt business grows or as Galax Boy grows, you might need more machines or want to buy another store or want to maybe open a new store, right? So you might need money for what? Expanding production, right? To get more machines or renting a bigger place to make more t-shirts, right? So you might need a more production place or more in-house or in-venue place, right? Or headquarters. And then for acquisitions, right? To buy another small business that complements yours, like a store that sells t-shirt designs, right? So now instead of making your own designs, now you might even buy another company, right, that's very good at making t-shirt designs, right? You could acquire it, right? uh, and then make that company now start designing t-shirt sales for your company so that you can then now sell it to customers, right? So that is now medium term and long term financial planning, right? So this is still on the financial planning aspect of the business, right? So what are the goals of financial planning, right? The survival of the business, right? Another example is to make sure that your t-shirt business can keep running even when sales are slow by having enough savings or backup funds, right? And then it's also going to help with efficient spending, using your money wisely, like buying t-shirts in bulk to get a discount or choosing the best quality machines that would last longer, right? And then we are fulfilling objectives, for example, spending money in ways that which you reach your business's goals, like investing in marketing to attract more customers and improving your products, right? I'm not sure if there's a hand. Is there a hand or is there someone that just wants to join? There's Ntebate here with the hand. Talk to
Yeah.
me, man.
Can I ask now? I'm a bit off topic.
Not a problem. Talk to me.
Will we be like required to write essays?
No. So with FRAM B, it's not necessarily essays. There's never gonna be an essay that's required. FRAM B, guys, is still calculation, guys. Let's not get that out the way. This is just chapter one. Ne? FRAM B, like with FRAM B, what you guys are gonna be expected to calculate is expected return, is expected risk, right? Is your different variables and your different factors. Like you're gonna be seeing, guys, you're gonna be dealing with companies that are listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. They're gonna ask you, when did we sell these shares? When is the best time to invest based on what variables and whatnot? this the real stuff is still coming. This is just chapter 1, right? So it's not just all theory. It's more calculations than it is theory, right? So they'll never ask us for essays, or at least not in my time. No, they shouldn't be an essay. The essay will come from Les. You should have a Les essay, if I'm not mistaken. Remo, talk.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. There's a question, Remo.
Just to add to Ndeba's question, I wanted to ask: is there a textbook for FRAM B?
There's no textbook that I know of for FRAM B. I think your lecture slides are gonna be enough, or they are gonna give you like a learner guide nyana when you guys open. Ne? Mara during my time when we were doing it, we were using the lecture videos, we were using the slides and the learner guide that which they gave us, which was essential, right? There wasn't necessarily a textbook. The only module you need a textbook for, ne, is EBEB and I mean, EBEB, guys, that one. Oh, Father God be with you there, ne, guys. Yo, it's coming.
Isn't maybe the same textbook, Nganti?
It's the same textbook for me, Mara. For those that didn't have the textbook to begin with. No, Lutandu, there's a hand.
Remo, do you have the EBEB textbook?
Mm-mm.
Like,
Mm-mm. But I should. I think I have the PDF. I don't have the hard copy.
yeah, I mean the PDF, not the hard copy.
Yeah, I think I should have it. I should have it. I'll share it with you guys. Yeah, I'll share it with you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Not a
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you.
But EBEB, nah, guys. Guys, I swear, nah. This, oof, I swear. Please, guys. Please, nah. There's no harder module in this course of yours, nah, than EBEB, and you will see. If it's the same module, nah, that I did and that Lungile did last year, guys, they are gonna offer it. Ne? So please, EBEB, it's gonna be at 8 a.m. Make sure you don't miss a class. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. If you miss that class, ne, already just know that you've subtracted more 15 to 20 marks. Clean, fool. When I miss classes, and it's easy to miss classes in winter, Shem. Hey, you know it's cold. Yo, Joburg. Joburg is cold, guys. But please, ne, EBEB. That one, guys, whoever gets a distinction for that one, ne, you are my soldier. Like, I salute you. I respect you. Ne? Yo, I respect you. I respect you because, yo, Charles that one. Charles that one, guys. Right? That one, Charles. Because the highest I know a person got for EBE is like 78% in my existence. And I've been here, guys, for a while. Lungile, I think, got.
Crazy business.
I think Lungile got 75. Koto got like 77 or 78. And you pushed. I got Buma 71 or 70. And fun. This was us cross 90. Yo, but that's fine, guys. Yo, that on Charles. Like, I'm still traumatized. Like, if I was asked to do EBE now, B, with you guys, ne, I think it would still chop me. That's how scary it is. Like, if I was to do it now, with what I know, still it's gonna chop me. There you can't just get a distinction there. So I just hope it's still the same standards. Ne? Let us continue, right, guys? So where were we? Efficient spending, future. Okay, planning for the future, right? So thinking ahead and making realistic plans for how you want your t-shirt business to grow, like saving up to open more stores or start an online store, right? Okay. So we're still on the financial planning part, right? In summary, right? Financial planning helps a business ensure that it has every right amount of money at the right time to meet its needs, grow effectively, right? And efficiently, achieve its goals, and prepare for the future. Just like how you budget, or just like how your own budget helps you buy what you need and save what you want, financial planning helps a business do the same. But I know that you guys can't relate because you guys just don't budget, you spend, and then you act shocked when you don't have money. Guys, you must budget, right? Just because in Genile doesn't mean there's somebody in Genat for already blown. How? You must budget. Right, guys? You just don't wake up, yo, you have 1.6, tomorrow you sleep, it's gone. How? As the money comes in, when it goes out, you didn't budget, right? So you are learning about financial management. Please act and behave like a financial manager with your own pockets. How can a person trust you with their business if they can't trust, if you yourself cannot be trusted with your own funds? Understand? You must budget, right? And it starts with you. So now we're moving on, guys, to the financial control part, right? So we dealt with the planning. Now we're controlling it, right? Why is financial control important, right? Financial control is like being the person who keeps track of all the money and resources in the business. It helps make sure that the business is reaching its goals and using its money and assets wisely. The key questions financial control addresses are as follows. Are the assets being used effectively and efficiently? So, example, right? Think of a school with a computer lab, like, so those that went to Model C schools, right? You guys had those computer labs, computer sciences. You guys know, ne? If you don't know, forget about it, Forget about it, it's fine, right? If the computer are always being used by students for learning, that's them being used efficiently. But if they are just sitting there and they are hardly being used by anyone, that is not being efficient. It's a waste, right? Because it's a waste of our resources because we shouldn't have bought them in the first place because they're not being used. Or they're not being used efficiently, rather, right? And then in business, right? Financial control checks if all resources, like the machines, like the buildings, and the money, are being used in the best possible way to make the business successful, right? So again, né, we have a situation where people receive money, right? So let's talk about your money. There are some people that just have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 lying in their bank account, and then they're smiling whenever they see a bank notification of money coming in. They're smiling, I have money, I have money. No, you have money there that is not being used, right? And that is not effective or efficient at all, because the point of money is to make more money, right? And then there are those people who receive bank notification and then it's already blown before they sleep. There's no difference between the two parties, right? Because they are both not efficient and effective at using that money to make more money, right? Hence why the discipline, again, I say, of financial management is important, right? Second question you need to ask yourself is, are the business assets secure? Example, right? You have a valuable video game console, right? For those that don't know what a video game console is your PS4, PS5, your Xbox, right? The boys would know it, and then the girls would also know it because they buy it for the boys, right? So that is also very good to see, right? We promote
That's
we
crazy.
promote It's not crazy. We promote such behavior. Ne? Ladies, buy him a PlayStation. Even if it costs 10,000. You know it's gonna work.
Ladies, stand up. Don't do
No,
that.
ladies.
Don't do
No,
it.
ladies.
Stand
No.
on
And it's funny
business,
how
Why
you
would
say
girls.
you buy a
Stand
man
$20,000
on
and you want
something
the
business.
that's
best to
gonna
buy
make
them?
him
Oh no,
spend less
ladies.
time with you?
Oh
Don't do that.
no.
Come on.
No, ladies.
Men are not supposed to be happy.
What are you saying? Hey, you
Oh,
see?
sis,
Yes,
Nangea,
please.
being a
Yes.
women's conference,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
Amanda,
Bionia.
please.
Banka, men should.
Amanda.
No, wrong,
Yeah, bo.
wrong.
Men are not
Whoa,
good
whoa, whoa, whoa.
people.
No,
Who
Banka.
said you are not supposed to be happy?
Exactly. Why?
I don't promote
Men are
anything
not
that
good
brings
people.
joy
You
to
don't
those
deserve
species.
happiness.
Nondo
Happiness.
me so
Except mine,
you are
though.
dangerous.
How
I
You
knew
now?
I'd
don't
be
have.
baby.
Men should be happy, and when men are happy, everyone's happy. Like, men are just a vibe, guys. Please. Right? I feel you guys now. So please, ladies, continue buying them uh, the PlayStations and their favorite football team shirts. We want that, right? Please.
Can we
back
please
to our
carry on? Aye, bo.
we are continuing,
Whoa. Can we
Ellen.
please carry on?
We know that your
Oh,
situation is
Ellen is
difficult.
strict here.
Ellen is
Ah.
strict. If in at 12 o'clock you was to carry on,
Ooh, oh.
awubanga.
Hi, Bo. How, guys?
Aibo. What did you guys do to Ellen?
Pela, some of us wants to sleep. Re batla ho robala, guys. Yo. Aye.
Ellen.
Nah. Nah.
Right?
Relax, Hammer. Breathe. Breathe.
So imagine you have a valuable video console, nah, guys? You would keep it safe, right? Or in a safe place so that it doesn't get stolen or damaged, right? In business, right? Financial control makes sure that all valuable things in the business, right, that it owns, like money, equipment, and property, are protected from theft, damage, and misuse, right? Then we move on, right? Still on the aspect of financial control, right? Another question you must ask is, Ivan, what's going on now? Who's laughing? What's going on, guys?
Oh shit, sorry guys.
Yo, what's going on?
Guys, siyafunda kanti nina niphizi.
Nipis, nenza izinto zabo.
For sure o haribhizi o tshatsana le moshimane
Hayi,
mo re re motho
yeah.
itlong ganti o a cohabita ka di-recess.
Let's
Guys,
continue.
I'm
But
not.
twenty ninety
I'm
recess ka
leaving you guys'
July.
messages in the chat box. I will sharp.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue, guys. Ne?
Kadlala.
Does management act in the best interest of shareholders and in accordance with business rules? Right? Again, we give an example, right? Let's say you're part of a team project at school and you all decide on rules to follow and goals to achieve. If everyone sticks to these rules and works towards the common goals, the project is more likely to succeed, right? In business, financial control ensures that managers, which is the people in charge, right, are making decisions that are good for the owners, whom are the shareholders, and that the following and that they are following the rules or the business rules and policies, right? And why does financial control matter? It matters because of efficiency, right? It ensures that the business uses its resources wisely and does not waste any money. And then it also matters because of security. It protects the business's valuable